Put it on there. All right, welcome to episode 17 of the Zone's All Access, hosted by the Sports Center. Today I'll be talking sports and middle school football with Coach Kenny Goodin. But first I need to mention the Zone's team of marketing partners. Without them, we couldn't do what we do. I also need to mention our premier marketing partners, Whitaker Insurance Agency, Walker & Walker Construction, Hearthside Bank, Value RX Pharmacy, Tazewell, Stay and Play Doggy Daycare, Grooming, and more, plus J&S Concrete Pumping. Kenny, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about sports for a while. Tell us where you're from and did you play sports growing up?
I did. I'm originally from Pineville. I went to Pineville High School, played football. Whole time I was there, from 7th grade up. Loved the game. Just enjoyed, played baseball, basketball. Loved it.
What do you think your favorite sport would have been?
Football, no doubt. Football is my favorite. I played baseball and basketball, which I enjoyed those, but football was probably my favorite. Got an opportunity to play for some high school coaches that know a lot about the game, taught us a lot, and just made me the man I am today, I guess you'd say.
Is there any one reason that we could pick that as your favorite? Is it the physicality?
No, not really. It's just to me, it's more. I guess it more family oriented.
Yeah.
It made from our early age, our coaches, made us look at our football team as our second home. That was, our family. I'm a Timberwolf now, so as I tell my players, I got your back, and I want my players to know that I got, I've got their back. We're family.
Yeah.
That's my pack. So
the pack is strong.
That's it. That's it.
Who is your favorite athlete?
Miguel Cabrera, the baseball player. I got to actually meet him at a Tiger Stadium game one year, and by far, any athlete, I think that he's just the man.
It's a good one. What did you like about him?
Just he was just a cut up. He was down to earth. If you got an opportunity to watch him play or to see him on and off the field, he was just a big cut up.
Yeah. One of the guys. Awesome. Okay, let's talk about your coaching. Why did you get into coaching, and did you even want to?
That's a hard question. No, I've got a 12-year-old son, and he is like super athletic. He wants to do everything. If there was some kind of sport on the moon, he'd want to try to do it.
Yep.
And he brought it around to me in a way like, Dad, you can go to practice and watch us practice or whatever. And I was like, well, whatever. And then, his coach asked me to help him coach and it just started from there. I mean, it's just a 12-year-old little boy looked at well, actually, he was probably about 7 at the time. Said, Dad, go to practice with us and see what we're doing. And I've been there ever since.
Well, you mentioned him. Talk about the Timberwolves and how that changed up there in the last 4 years. It's incredible.
A lot of people don't know the background to it and the way that it all took place and how the change started taking place. One man spoke up. One man spoke up.
Yep.
And said, our kids deserve better. And everybody agreed, and they made a vote and they made a change, and it was a change for the better. And that's what I'm looking to do with the middle school football team, is to make a difference,
Right.
to make a change. At the end of the day, it don't matter if you're Blue Devils, if you're Red Devils, if you're Owls. It really don't matter. At the end of the day, you're family.
Yeah.
When you get in high school, if you stay on this side of the river, if you stay on the south side of the county, and you're going to play football or sports of any kind on this side of the river, that's what we call it, you're going to play together if you make the high school teams. And, what better way to start doing that than while you're in 5th or 6th grade or 7th and 8th grade or whatever it may be. Start it now. That way, when these guys get into high school, when they go into their freshman year of high school, we want them to have the mindset of what Coach Lee is bringing to the table with the high school. Me and Coach Lee's working together. We're trying to get it to where these guys are already on key. When they get there, they know what to do when they get there. That way, that takes a lot of the extra time out for the high school guys, and it also lets us build character in these guys that I've got playing for me this year. I'm looking to. We may not win every game this year. We're building a program, but I will say that win or lose, when we leave the field, everybody that we play is going to know that the Timberwolves is there.
Okay, what are the strengths do you think you can bring to this football team there as coach?
It's not nothing that I can bring. It's that I think that the Lord has blessed me with an ability to see the potential in kids that most people don't see.
Right.
A lot of people can't see. You can get a lot out of a kid by just sitting and talking to him.
Yes.
If you show these kids just a little bit of attention and to show them, I care, you're going to get a whole lot more out of that kid, and they're going to give you their full potential. And I can coach till I'm blue in the face, or I can scream until my voice is gone. But until that kid realizes the potential that he has, unless somebody fills that kid in with, hey, look, you can do this. There's no doubt in my mind we have some phenomenal athletes in this county, and to see one leave the county just to go somewhere else because they're to be a better ball player, you're only going to be as good as what you're taught to be. And if the guys that I've got on my team this year, and I'm hoping, I was talking just a few minutes ago, I'm hoping that they all stay. But if I've got to build a Timberwolf team that is going to be proud of what they have.
Yeah.
And can I go ahead and say it? Some people watching may get offended or whatever. I don't mean to offend nobody or whatever, but I went to what got me really into this. At the time, I didn't have the thought process of being the head coach of the football team. I just wanted to see a change for the kids. I went to a home football game that the middle school had, and there were 35 or 40 people in the stands.
Oh, I know.
At a home game. I
know.
And that just broke my spirits, because we're a better community than that.
We are.
I'm from coaching the Timberwolves last year, the 5th and 6th grade. I had some phenomenal coaches. I don't take the credit for the championship that we did win. That was my coaching staff that done that. I had some phenomenal coaches, but in the same aspect, I had some phenomenal athletes that wanted it. They wanted to play. They wanted to win. But there was one game that we played at home a couple years ago, and it was a rival game. I'll say it that way. It was a rival game, and our fan base got behind our football team. Our fans won that football game for us. They got behind us, and the noise that was coming from that stadium was just unreal. It was phenomenal. I live like a half a mile from the football field, and my niece lives next door to us, and she heard the roar of the crowd a half a mile away. So, if we can get the community to back this middle school team, I mean, it's a great bunch of kids. I just want them to be proud of where they're from and what they're doing, and I want them to succeed. You know what I mean?
Are they going to be called the Bulldogs still, or are you changing to Timberwolves? And explain that process.
They're going to the Timberwolves. They Adam Barton and his board members have stepped up and accepted us into their facility. Coach Lee, like I said, is still the high school. We're still working with them. They're supplying the equipment and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But Adam and them has opened their doors, and I can't say this enough about Adam Barton. That man is he's one of a million. Yes. And I think he could probably change the face on a dollar bill if he really thought he could do any good. But he's just phenomenal. He stepped up as president of that league, and he taught us. He put in us the stuff that's in him. He wants to see these kids succeed. He wants them to be proud of being from Tazewell, being from Claiborne County. But like I said earlier, to me, being a Timberwolf is having the Timberwolf Nation, as we call it, up on the hill, behind these kids. It's going to be I know it's going to be a different atmosphere for them, and I'm looking forward to the season starting and getting it going.
Games will be played where?
We play our home games up at Earl Giles Field.
Okay.
I think the August the 14th is our opening day. We have a scrimmage game against La Follette, and then we'll play Hancock County after the following week at home. Then we got a few away games, and then we'll be back on for our last two games.
What aspect do you like about coaching, and what do you dislike about coaching? So far, I know you've not coached like a head coach position for any amount of time on the middle school level, but what do you found out you like and dislike?
Well, I like the fact of just through experience of dealing with the people here in Tazewell and in this end of the county, in the south end of the county. I don't want to treat nobody no different than the way I want to be treated.
Of course, yeah.
And I want to treat everybody with respect, and if you treat everybody with respect, they give you respect. And I've yet to come across anybody, and in the last 3 or 4 years, that has not presented herself in a well-behaved manner. They've taken me in, and I guess treated me like one of their own, I guess, if you want to say. But I'm sure, there's people that don't agree with that, but that's fine too. Somebody had labeled me as a praying coach. I am very religious. I believe that I can't do nothing without the Lord. He's my everything. He wakes me up in the morning. He puts me to sleep at night. A lot of people don't agree with that. I don't try to push it on people, but I will tell you this. And I talked to the parents of the middle school. I don't force it on the kids. But my team meets me on the 50-yard line before every game, and we take a knee and we pray. Not for him to help us win that ball game, but for safety, right. For both sides of the field. And if I can just be the man that God put me here to be, to help a handful of these kids, like I told you earlier, I had 42 kids out on the football field today. And if I can help just a handful of them, if I can, be a mentor, I guess, to them in any kind of way, that's what I want.
Yeah, surprisingly, a lot of kids need that.
Yeah.
We're in a life now where they struggle to have a true family, and a lot of kids need football.
Right.
They need that family atmosphere.
And I'll let the guys know too. when we first get started or whatever. If if Mama comes to me and says, "Hey, this one's not doing this or this one's not doing that or whatever," and
Yeah.
she wants some extracurricular activities or run a lap or whatever it may be, that's what it starts at home.
It does.
It starts at
Everything
home.
does. Yeah. What will your philosophy on offense be and on defense? How is this team going to play?
What we're trying to do is we're trying to work it in to where we're trying to mirror like what the high school's doing. We want to interact with get some plays going that Coach Lee and them are going to be running, and not all of them, and they're not all going to be identical. We have to justify and move stuff around, or we have to modify it for us and for the talent that we have on our team. And but I think that for the most part, we're just trying to work together with Coach Lee to get Claiborne County football back to where everybody in Claiborne County is proud of the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to say that at one time I was a Timberwolf, now I'm a Bulldog. And I think a kid that's playing in middle school, when you get to walk out on that football field on Thursday nights or Friday nights or whatever it may be, if you go on if you make it to a Friday night game at a high school game and you go out and this kid walks out there, that kid ought to have to earn that. It's
Get it.
We have the Timberwolves field that they're going to let us play on this year. Our guys, if they get to make it to that next level to where they get to walk out on the high school field, they've accomplished something. And that's that's basically it. Just we try to work with Coach Lee and get things going the way that the high school's going, so these guys know when, like the eighth graders know next year when they roll in there, hey, I got a little bit on my mind of what's going on.
Okay, spring practices are different. I mean, no contact usually and stuff like that, or limited contact. What drills are you doing, and what are they doing now to prepare for the fall?
Usually in the spring, I go back to fundamental football. Just going through, showing them the proper way to wrap up, the way to tackle, like on the proper routes to run with the receivers, or make sure that everybody knows what hole they're supposed to go into. It's just fundamental football.
Do you think you're teaching more fundamentals than you should be at this level?
No.
Well, that's good news.
No, because I think that at the end of the day, fundamentals is what makes football. To me, I may look at it different than everybody else, but if you don't have the fundamentals, then you really don't know exactly what's going on. And I don't want to get a kid out there and get them hurt.
No,
I want to teach them the right way to do stuff, how to tackle, and how to protect the football.
Keep that head out of the tackle.
Keep that head up. You don't go in with your face looking at the grass because you're going to end up with dirt in your mouth. But go in with your head up. You got to see where you're going. And make sure your head's on the right side. If the ball's on the right side, make sure your head's over there. Take a chance on creating a fumble and getting the ball back.
Do you think we start tackle football too soon? I've asked several coaches, and they all kind of lean towards maybe we do.
I'm one of those guys that say no, we don't.
Okay.
It's fun. We've been in the press box together up at Oral Giles Field, and we've seen these little guys get out there, and it's not like it's a full contact for them. They're getting an idea of the full contact, but as you go up to like the hoppers, you go from the JV hoppers, and these little guys are just out there just having fun and running everywhere, and playing football, and then you go up to the hoppers, and that's where it kind of starts. The coaches kind of start teaching them the actual fundamentals of the game is when they're third and fourth grade, and then when you get up to fifth, sixth grade, like the cutters, that's when it kicks in. And hey, we got to get these guys ready for middle school, and that's, as a coach for the cutters last year, that was my goal as a coach, is to get the sixth graders ready for middle school. Every year, to me, it's a learning process. I enjoy just watching another coach.
Yeah.
To see the way that they would do things, and like I said, last year I had some phenomenal coaches, Wesley Nance and Jacob Blankenship. Those guys, man, they stepped up and we won the championship. And they're just awesome people, and they love the game and they love kids, and
Right.
that's part of it. It's at the end of the day, it's just about the kids. If we can get the kids to enjoy it and want to stay with it, and we can teach them something that is going to stick with them as they level up or whatever, I think we've accomplished what we need to do, and you know. I'm just looking forward to the future as these guys that's on my team grow up. I want to see how far they'll go with it. And it's not nothing that I've done. It's just that I want to be the coach that when one of my guys that's been on my football team sees me, they'll say, "He used to coach me when I was little," And who's to say that you don't have the next All-American player? You know what I mean?
Should there be a flag football organization around as a precursor, maybe to tackle football? I know your opinion on it a little bit, so
but it wouldn't hurt. It would actually be probably a good thing because even with the flag football, you still have your kids line up the same way. It's just no contact. You know what I mean? That's a good training aspect.
They had it a couple years at Claiborne High School, right after school was over, I think, and we even saw some girls come out and they really competed. I mean, it was good. It's the first game of the season. We'll imagine this, and the team gets behind. How do you going to talk to the players and rally them?
Coach West says that I'm the guy that peps up a football team.
I've seen a little bit of that myself.
The thing about getting a team up is that first of all, you got to let these guys know that you believe in them, and that you got to instill in them that you can overcome this. I mean, we've been down in ball games before, and just by a little pat on the back, or if you get a kid down on himself and he's like dragging the team down or whatever, pat him on the back, let him know, hey, you're doing a good job, keep your head up or whatever. I'm not a criticizer. I don't. If a kid's not doing something right, I'd rather have him stand on the sideline with me because I don't want to see him get hurt. But if I know that this kid's potential, I'm going to pump these kids up. My wife tells me that I have a big mouth all the time, and that she actually even called one time on the sideline and told me, you need to go out and down, because she heard me in the stand. But that's just the kind of coach I am. It's not that I yell at the kids or whatever. I just get loud because I get excited because I know what these guys can do. And they, as far as just pumping them up or whatever, I can usually just say just a few things. And, my guys are fired up like, if I say timber, you say wolf, and my wolf pack, I got your back.
Yeah. How are you going to handle the different personalities that makes up a team?
That's a hard thing in any sport.
Yes, it is.
You just have to. I just have to step back and take in what's going on around me.
It takes a while to learn the player.
Figure out what's going on, and even like right now, even early in the spring like this, I've had a few kids that just that's got down on themselves, but it's new players, kids that's never played before, and they all have different personalities. Some of them want to cut up, some of them want to be serious, but there's a time for both. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the new guys coming in are watching the guys that's been there for a while, and they want to start acting, kind of like they do. But it's like I tell my guys, it ain't kindergarten anymore. This is big boy football.
How long does it take a coach to really learn the player type the ones that need to be more disciplined and they respond better to yelling as opposed to the player that loves to be taught and not yelled at. How long does that take?
That from start to finish. There's just and a lot of times it just depends on it. It depends on who you're talking to. Again, if you got a kid that's just wide open and sideways and that you think is not listening to you or whatever, and then you just automatically turn around and look and it's an entirely different kid on the football field. I've had that happen. You think that they're not paying attention and not listening, and then again, I've had some phenomenal football players and basketball players or whatever that you'd be coaching and they're doing, I got you, but you never see there's just different way. To me, if I try to do a lot of one-on-one with my guys, even in these spring practices, if we're running helmets or whatever, I'll grab a water bottle while some of the other coaches is going through things, and I'll go through and I shoot them a shot of water while they're going through this stuff, and I'll talk to them. How was your day? Or
that's great.
Anything going on? Is it that's what I'm here for. I'm not just your head football coach. I want to be I want to be a mentor to you. If you need anything, you just come to me, talk to me about anything.
And I imagine they'll open up to you where they wouldn't a parental unit or something maybe. Oh, that's good. If someone wants to participate, since last Friday you put numbers up, but if somebody else is out there that wants to play football with you, how will they get in touch with you?
We'll be at Carl Giles Field Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 6. A lot of kids that are staying after school at SMMS and just walking across.
Mm-hmm.
But if they go to like Springdale or Midway, they can the parents can bring them down and drop them off or whatever. I'm usually there about 3:00, 3:10, somewhere like that. I'm usually there. I was talking to Coach Lee last night, and I was telling him about having 40 kids yesterday, and he was like, "That is awesome." And then we get there today, and then they just keep coming. Man, I'm not going to turn nobody away. I want everybody to have opportunity to try it, to see if they like it. If they don't like it, ain't nobody going to talk bad about them. Because football's not for everybody.
No, it's not.
But at the end of the day, what I want to do is I want to create a culture with these kids that and put in a mindset in them that anything I put my mind to, I want them to accomplish stuff. I want them to say, "Hey, I accomplished this. I've done this on my own." And but it takes like I said, it starts at home. It takes parents too. I don't want them to push their kid into something they don't want to do, because at the end of the day, that's just going to make them hate what they're doing. But I want them to encourage them. Try it. But yeah, from 4 to 6 Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays. But after our dead period in July, we'll probably hit like 3 or 4 days a week, getting ready for the season. And then when season starts, we'll go back to Mondays and Tuesdays. We'll play on Thursdays. And we'll probably do a lot day on Monday just to walk through stuff for maybe an hour and a half. And then
where will the fall practices be?
At the practice field up beside SMMS Middle School.
Good deal. What are the program's needs? How can the parents help? And how can the community help?
We are, like I said, the high school Coach Lee is doing his very best at trying to keep us, with equipment and stuff that we need. But it would be awesome if we could get like donations to the Timberwolf League or whatever, because Adams mentioned he's even wanting to step up and buy uniforms for the middle school. And that's there again. That's something that Mr. Barton wants to do, and would be phenomenal for all the help that we can get. any donation that the Timberwolves can get, I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
But they've worked their tails off, if you will, on this field up here, and
Boy, they have.
To for people that had been there before all this stuff had took place and changed or whatever. Just a handful of people. One man stood up and said something needs to change, and
that's all it takes sometimes.
And they've made a difference in things that was said that could never happen.
Yeah,
and
I personally doubted it.
Yeah.
I was told what was going on, and I said, "Well, it'll be fine, but then it'll quiet down." But it did. I mean, it was impressive. What y'all did up there is impressive.
And it's like I said, there's a group of people that the community had voted in as board members, and it wasn't anything about I did this or I did that. It was about let's get these kids into a facility where they're proud to say that they're from here.
Yes.
To have the fan base that the Timberwolves has created up there is just phenomenal. Love the fan base. I mean, we've had my Cutters team would have we'd be playing or whatever, and we'd have cheerleaders, just cheering from one end of the stadium to the next. I even had a mom stand up one night and stand at the fence and start cheering, and that place just erupted. So, and that's the kind of atmosphere I want the middle school team to have. It's to let them know that, there's people out there that's got your back. You know what I mean?
That's cool. All right, let's get down to the goals of the season and beyond.
I want to have a winning season. I want my boys to work hard, to know that, at the end of the day, they gave me 110%. And I want them to know at the end of the day, I gave them 110%. And it's going to take some work to get it done. I told them in a team meeting up there the other day, we may not win every ball game, and I may have said it earlier, we may not win every ball game, but when we leave a facility, no matter where it's at, if it's home or wherever, they're going to know that we were there. I got some awesome talent on my football team. Got some younger guys on my football team. But the older guys that's been there, that's played the game for a while, has stepped up and took these guys in just like they've been there the whole time. And but I think at the end of the day, it's our goal is to succeed, to do what people said that we couldn't do, and if we can get the community behind us and back us, the way the Timberwolves community come together, I see no problem with if you get behind a kid and you back them, they're going to give you everything they can give you. You're going to see a side of that kid that you've never seen before, because they're going to want to make you proud of them just as much as they want to be proud of themselves.
Right. All right. I'm going to give you the last word. Say what you want to say. Anything you want.
Middle school parents, whether it be Midway, Springdale, SMMS, get out and watch these kids play football. Get back your kid. If they don't play football, no matter what sport it is, get out and back them. Give them some fan base. Give them a sense of pride to be from Tazewell. Let's put Tazewell back where Tazewell needs to be. I want to, I may not be from this area, but for the last 22 years, I've lived in Tazewell, and this is home to me. I've raised my family here. Let's get behind these kids and back them, and let them know, that there is somebody out there that still cares. Because when I went to that middle school football game and seen 30, 35 people in the stands, right, that's when I seen something needed to change. And but just get behind your kids. And we talked earlier, if you got a kid that wants to play, bring them out. And as I always say before I leave a football field or before I leave a game, if I say timber, you say wolf. Timber wolf. Thank you.
All right. We want to thank Rex here at the Sports Center for hosting us once again. And for you all, thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time. God bless you all.